All right, well, it's another day of programming, Easter. I have a quite of a long day today. I don't know, just like at least a lot of things to do in preparation. So we have a Good Friday experience this Friday for a couple hours. Pretty much just room is emptied and there's immersion stations around, explainers as to like how they did it, kind of give you a feel of the vinegar that was used, get to taste it on a piece of cotton, the whole bit. Kind of cool. Anyways, I have a graphic that I put up on the LED wall and screens and or two different graphics, one each. And so I got to set that up today. I also have Ron, our wonderful lighting designer, is going to be coming in for a couple hours this morning to help set up some of the lighting schemes for Easter. And then I'll be doing a run through of the services today, and in hopes that we are ready for rehearsal. So just turning all this stuff on here. Let's restore that. For some reason with ATEM, you have to restore twice every single time without fail, if you'll notice. I just restored and my cameras have not picked up the settings that they were, that's stored. Second time doing it, all of a sudden the cameras respond. Now this computer's waking up, so let me put in this password. Come on, Apple. What's wrong with this computer? Interesting. All right, so as you can see, I had updated the lower thirds for our all-in series that's coming up next week. This is the lower third for Easter. We only need 2 lower thirds really for Easter, so I'm not gonna update everybody, all of these, just for Easter. I'm just going to do what's needed. Another thing I need to do is also make sure that our lighting is, actually, let's not do it here. Has the scenes, it has the show files for Easter for what we need. So let's go into the booth here and let's set that guy up. Okay. All right, so let's turn on lighting. Okay, and then we need to open up Easter. Okay, I didn't bring my mic or hard drive to record to my computer, so I'm just gonna have to do it like this. Just bear with me. Hopefully you can see everything and actually hear well enough. So I'm just going to be working on the lighting scheme for Easter. First off, let's start off with the home base. So my Sunday home base is going to change, and it is the Master of Colorama for the service. So let's find out. It's 7, cue list number 7. So let's go find out what colors we need to change here. So I'm going to edit number 7. That's currently triggered. And that's currently what we see live here. I'm going to pull the house out so we can kind of get a little bit more of a gist of what is happening. Also, so for the live tab is going to show us what we could do with the live tab. Actually, I'm sorry, let's turn everything on and let's see what kind of colorama it's actually showing us. So just because the lights are off doesn't mean that the home base isn't telling it what color to go or what gobo to be on, or stuff like that. So we don't need to worry about us talking to the house. We don't need to talk to the audience blue. That is already set in home base, but we never need to really touch those. So on the live tab, let's select everything that we need on, or we want to see what looks like. Let's select you guys. I think that's it. Don't know what that shove mover is. That's interesting. What are you? Baptismal we don't need to worry about either. All right, so now we're on the live tab, so we're not being destructive to any queue. This is just kind of temporary in the interim. So let's just go 100% on this, and then we can see the lighting colors that we have for everything. Let's actually go 50% or something. That's a little too much. I just need to be able to see color. Okay, so deselected. Now we want everything to mirror or match the LED wall that's currently triggered. So what we want is to get rid of the orange. Let's make sure all of these oranges are more of a yellow. Let's start over again. Let's turn everything on because all I need in this queue is value at the moment. Okay, truss color, band kicks, and I think that's it. Oh, actually we need these movers on as well. Okay, now let's go to 40%. Now we'll go to home base, and in home base we'll change the colors. So we wanted these to be orange. And then in the live tab, let's actually move them down too, so I can see what's going on here. You know what? Let's just... Okay, and then let's move you to... That's the foot of the stage, and then we'll move you up a little bit, which is the center one. Let's just go straight up with this one. There we go. Okay, we'll save that. Let's get out of here again. Now let's select these guys and change colors. We'll go teal with you. Truss colors we'll do closer to teal as well. And then these guys will go... Let's go yellow with those. And I'm worried more about the gobos on the walls at the moment. That's what I was looking at. Okay, so our drum green color needs to go away. And let's go with maybe like a teal with that as well or something for now. And you'll notice the band kick I have is green, kind of a pastel-y. And we want to go with white. And then the band kicks, let's go with a teal or a white. Yeah, let's go white on the band kicks. Save all of that, and then all of our house movers are yellow. Yep, that's what we want. I feel like these movers are not the color they need to be, so let's double check these. Let's move them up a little bit so I can see them. Looks like we're on a UV blue or something. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to the Q stack itself. Let's go to the color wheel and let's find an actual wheel that it likes. And you know, white might suffice. White may actually look really good. Either white or yellow, but I think white. And I also think, I wonder what the stage wash would look white as well instead of this teal. I don't like that. Let's stay teal. Yeah, let's stay teal. I think that looks better. So Colorama works for me. All right, let's close that. And let's see what home base looks like, or what the welcome looks like once it's triggered. And there's our colors. You will notice that, oh, the gobos here have changed. That's actually looks like I have a color in this welcome, which is not supposed to be there, or at least not supposed to be green. So let's go with a teal on that. And again, it's not supposed to be talked to. So let's go to pre-service, edit, and then we'll select the green guys. We'll see where we're talking to them. Let's take these colors away here. Actually, let's make sure we're not talking to any of these for color. It looks like we are talking to both. Okay, now they're both yellow. That is good and exactly what we need. Now let's go back to the Sunday home base, and then we'll make these outer ones teal. Yeah, I like this one better. And then, fine. And then for the pre-service, we want to go 40. Okay. And then for the home base, let's change these from yellow to like, see if we could find a better orange or something. Okay, I mean, we're getting there. It's looking better. So you'll notice for colors, I'm changing the colors in home base, and only intensity and positions are being saved in the pre-service look. So if I need to change anything to, say, the speaking elements, I'm gonna change the color in home base. This actually looks okay for me. Let's leave this as it is, just a one-off. Don't really need to worry too much. This looks great. Cool. All right, so we can move on. Pre and post services done. Makes life a lot easier. That way, the entire turnaround between series, especially when they're back to back like this, is much quicker. It's easier, less to worry about. Okay, pre and post service is good. For our countdown, we're not calling any songs. All right, let's make sure we're all connected here. We are. And see how we're looking. Okay, I did just notice that we didn't transition over to Ableton. So the Ableton switch needs to happen here. So let's go to macros. I'm going to select my companion triggers and I'm going to find my LED wall switch to Ableton. And then I will move that up to there. So then now when it gets called, we'll be on Ableton's output. And then also, what needs to happen with this trigger is the ATEM needs to switch over to the side screens, need to change to Ableton Video. No, program needs to change to... Okay, so what we're going to do here is let's go to the switcher. And then what we need to do is figure out how to get... Let's get our ATEM. Let's do this. Let's move it up. This is going to be an ATEM to, it's going to be ATEM program to Ableton. And I feel like we need that trigger to come from Ableton instead of ProPresenter, but in the meantime, let's just edit this, and then we need this to be... So we need to go to companion. Let's add a button on companion to be... Okay, so we want... Let's copy this, and then we want that to be ATEM... Call this PGM to Ableton. Okay, let's go see really quick. I'm curious what the actual output is seeing. Okay, so the actual output is seeing what I see, which is here. So why is that happening with you? With the DSK on? Okay. So then Ableton is seeing the wrong thing, it looks like. So in our pre-service, we need to see props and media. We don't want to see media. That's why. I think I'd had that on for a reason too, because I was originally going to play the video from Ableton, so we're not going to do that anymore. So now what we're doing is going straight. Actually, I'm curious. Pre-service shows it, but Easter doesn't. Okay. So now let's reset. And then what we want is the countdown trigger to also have a clear prop. So now when we trigger this, it should clear the props all off of program, change the switcher's program to be Ableton lyric video, and then let's move from there and see what happens. I think I know what happened too. I actually did not change this to be the correct output. So what we need is to call this button, which is, I can't really see it that easily, 9834. So this needs to be 9834. 9834. So now this is calling the correct thing. So now let's make sure that it actually does move to Ableton. There it does. Cool. All right, let's reset and start this over again. All right, so we have our announcements, props, over program as soon as I trigger the countdown, or in this case, the opener. Sweet, that's exactly what we want. Now let's see what happens after the transition. Another thing is I need to add, on the trigger, I need to add a, okay, that's exactly what we wanted. The only thing is we didn't clear out the lyric video. So the lyric video, let's see if we can do this from Ableton now at this point. Should be able to throw in a MIDI trigger. Okay, so after a little bit of tinkering and fiddling with it, I'm just wasting some time trying to figure this out. So I'm just going to move forward to a different way of doing this. So what I'm going to do is have everything come from Ableton instead. I mean, from ProPresenter instead. So I'm going to duplicate this trigger, and then create another button that's going to bring the camera back. Release LV1 at least. So I'm going to duplicate this guy, and then this one is going to be called Ableton Program Cam 1, ATEM Program to Cam 1. Okay, and then it triggered something it wasn't supposed to. So let's remove that note on, remove this note on. Okay, and I'm gonna, that is added there, and then this is going to be there. I'm gonna change this label to be switches to cam 1, and then what I want this to do is trigger another button that fades. So it's going to be funerals, and I want to do camera fade, so camera fade 1. So this is going to be 102 is what I think it is. Yeah, 102. So then this is going to trigger 102. Okay, let's see if that works. It does, and it faded it. Cool beans, it's easy. All right, sweet. So now we are here, and then we want in Ableton, we want to trigger slide number 3 at some point. I wonder it, no, this needs to happen much later, at least there. And then 3 could be pulled in more. Okay. So I think that might run okay. So now let's see how this is going to work. This is a quick opener video anyways. So let's reset. Trigger the countdown. Advance the countdown. 3, 2, 1. I totally did not see what was going on there. So let's do that again. Let's reset. Okay, I need to pay attention to program, and then also pay attention to the triggers. So that we didn't want happening during the countdown. So why did that happen? This triggered the Easter. Oh, this cleared props. We don't want to clear props. So let's bring it back in. Okay, so now our Easter countdown has started. Oh, we can't clear props. It needs to clear props. Copy. How am I going to do that now? We want this to show, Ableton program to show. Let's do that again. Let's add clear props. That clears props and then brings in the countdown. Now on our screens, our looks, we want the alpha keyer to see the announcements as well. There we go. So let's save that. Now when the announcements or the countdown is done, 2, 1, it will trigger our countdown. That didn't happen as planned, so let's make this switch program to Ableton and then remove that one. Okay. Cool beans. Countdown has started. It's on program and the screens. Let's advance this now. Perfect. Now that called another lighting look that we don't want triggered right now, maybe. We are looking at Sunday bumper. So Sunday bumper is 5 and is supposed to be, let's not have any color changes on these. Okay, so now let's pay attention to the trigger for the third slide here. Yeah, man, I'd say that was great. That was a good transition. This affects toggles in the wrong place. Okay, and then it's good. Do lighting. Alright. Goodbye yesterday. I was going to go to welcome. Orange works. Yep, that's what we want. That's not supposed to be calling Megan. Cool. That's it for now. The 9 and 11 they don't change at all when it comes to the timing with calendar events. So I want 7 to kind of mirror that. The way 9 and 11 is being triggered to be manual-esque, if that makes any sense at all. So the countdown trigger at 11 is going to, oh, it's a good thing I actually pulled this up. So let's delete, no, that's what we want, 11, we don't, nope, we don't want that. Let's remove you. Okay, I'm gonna do a Good Friday recap, or not recap, but coverage. As we step into this Good Friday and Easter weekend, we do things a bit differently. We created a self-guided walk, a way to really feel the last moments of Jesus' journey. We started at the communion table, which feels even more special today, reminding us of that last meal together. Then, as we move through the auditorium, you will encounter a powerful scene of the scourging. Seeing and even touching the whip and crown can help us understand just a little bit the incredible pain Jesus went through. Next, we'll reflect on that moment of thirst, the offering of the vinegar. It's a simple thing, but it connects us to his very human suffering on the cross. Each step we've created is meant to help us connect in a real way. Feeling the thorns, imagining the nails, these things help us go beyond just hearing the story and really feel it. Finally, we arrive at the cross, the heart of our faith. Here, you'll have a chance to write down what's on your heart and nail it to the cross. A powerful moment of letting go and finding hope. So, this Good Friday and Easter weekend, let's walk a path together. It's a time to remember, to reflect on the sacrifice, and to find our own personal meaning and hope as a church family. And get this Easter, over 75 people will be baptized right where they symbolically left their burdens at the cross. So cool, right? Thanks you guys for hanging out with me. I'll see you on the next video.